Hey everybody, and welcome to the Young Common Sense video blog. This is a place where we're going to give you amazing tips on how to live your life better in every aspect. My name is Kyle Luetters, and before we kick off this week's episode, I just want to say thank you to everyone that made our debut video blog such a success. Over 70 views last week and tons of comments, inspiration, and folks just telling us how that video blog helped them get over something and get them motivated to find the passion in their life. Folks, those are the types of responses that we love to hear, and we love to hear that what we're putting out there makes a difference, so thank you again very much. And it was a great way to kick off our Career Marker series by talking about how you find that passion and what you're going to do for the next 40 to 50 years of your life. So now we move on, we slide a little ways on the map, and we put down another marker, and we start talking about how you find a job. Okay, this has been something that has been around for eons. Once your education is complete, how do you find a way to put a roof over your head and put food on the table? You got to have a job. You got to make money, right? Whether you're self-employed or you're working for somebody else, you have to find a way to make a living. And you know, in today's day and age, there are quite a few ways to find those jobs. You've got the internet, you got social media. I guess it's kind of the same way, but I mean, you could go on monster.com or another one of those job search websites. Social media, a lot of companies are using social media now to post their job openings. You can check the newspaper. I'm not really sure what you're going to find in there. No offense to my newspaper buddies. I know you guys are moving online, and it's been a slow migration for about 10 years now, but you guys are getting there. You can, do a ton of different things to find jobs, but folks, I got to tell you, there is one way out there that I think is going to truly make a difference when you go to search for a job, and that's networking. That's getting out there and meeting people. And I'm going to tell you why I believe this by telling you my career story. I decided, like I told you last week, that my passion in life was broadcasting, and I decided eventually, broadcasting's great, but my ultimate passion would be a racing broadcaster. When I was 5 years old, I used to mute the Daytona 500 on CBS, and no offense to Ken Squire, Ned Jarrett, and Buddy Baker, but I would call the races as a 5-year-old. And that's one of my earliest memories in life. So when I realized that racing broadcasting was the ultimate goal, I set out to try to find ways to do that. And I sent out a billion copies of my resume. Maybe a billion is a bit much, but I sent out a ton of them because I didn't know anybody. But I just kept trying to work my way through. Now, I was working at the radio stations at the time, and my program director was a gentleman named David Crawford. And David Crawford had at one point announced at the local dirt track called the Lawton Speedway and still knew the family that run it, and the point of contact was Marcy Edwards. So after I made the documentary, David got me hooked up with Marcy, and that led to me getting the opportunity to announce at the Lawton Speedway for the summer of 2010. And my first 2 or 3 weeks, I was terrible. I stunk. It was bad. Terrible. People were heckling really loudly. Almost got a beer can thrown at me. No joke. But as the summer progressed and I figured out how to do it, I had a great time. College graduation came up in December of 2010, and I got to start looking around. Well, I already have a full-time job at the radio station. I'm still announcing it at the Lawton Dirt Track. But, I wanted to do something more. I wanted to make that big, bold career leap that we all do out of high school or college. So I started searching around, and I started talking to a few of the folks that I knew from the documentary that were in the racing industry, and that led me to getting connected with a gentleman named Chris Dolak with World Racing Group and the World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series. And one of my favorite days of my entire life was Wednesday, December 16th. I took my final college final in the morning, and then that afternoon, Chris asked me if I would be willing to come out to Charlotte, North Carolina in early January to interview for the position. Now, I didn't get that interview. I didn't get that email to come out there and interview for the job based on a resume I had just sent him blindly. It was because I knew somebody through networking that had gone in and vouched for me and said that, yes, this is a guy you can trust. This is a guy that knows what he's talking about. He's, clean cut, well-spoken. You will do well if you consider him for this position. So I went on out to North Carolina, got the job, and started becoming the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series PR coordinator. And that opened my sphere of people that I knew much, much, much greater until I met a gentleman named Jason Myers, who was a co-owner of Elite Racing. Jason and I got to talking, and that led to me getting an offer to take over their marketing and communications as they were getting ready to expand to a 2-car team. It was the opportunity of a lifetime. I was greatly looking forward to working with Jason and everybody on the team. I thought, man, I'm going to get to go and learn from some amazingly smart and talented people that were way above where I am, and I'm going to get paid really good money to go do it. Unfortunately, that didn't end up working out the way that we had all planned. Nothing wrong with that. Learning experience. Life will throw you those every once in a while, don't forget. But I still got to be on a race team for about a year until that race team went under. Now, at that time, I was starting to panic. I was starting to freak out. I was like, what am I going to do? I had never been without a job since the age of 13, and now here I am with the prospect of getting laid off and this race team going away. Well, a friend of mine, Nick Stevens, worked for a company that I didn't even know wanted to bring me in for an interview and possibly hire me, called R&R Enterprises. So Nick made the connection for me to the owner, Phil Rideout, and that's where I'm working at today. So now I told you my entire story to let you in on what my number one tip is for when you want to go out and find a job. Networking is the absolute best thing that you can do, ladies and gentlemen, because if you can have somebody vouch for your character, your appearance, and your skills, that will automatically place you well above just a standard resume that somebody that is looking to do a hire will get. Because that somebody will go in and create this image in that potential employer's mind. You have already leapfrogged over everybody else because you have an endorsement. You have somebody vouching for you, and that is huge. Think about it this way. When you have to have a service performed on your car or something made at your house, don't you normally go and ask your friends who they would recommend? Don't you go on Google and search for reviews of different contractors or repair shops? We trust recommendations. We want to have a sense of trust when we're looking to hire somebody, whether it's to provide a service or to bring them on board on our company. So the more people you can get out there and the more people that you can have become your cheerleaders and know and make a connection for you, the better off you're going to be. And there's 3 simple tips I will give you when you're out there networking that will leave a lasting impression in somebody's mind for you. The first thing is eye contact. Eye contact is extremely important. It communicates so much between you and that other person. The second thing is your smile. When you meet somebody, make eye contact and smile. That's a very open and inviting emotion. It creates a great vibe between the two of you two. And it puts somebody at ease when you smile. And the third thing, this is how you clinch it. This is how you seal the deal. This is how you get that person to believe, like, wow, this person's awesome. You give them a firm handshake. So once again, eye contact, smile, and handshake. That is one of the best ways I can tell you to go out and meet people and leave a lasting impression. If you leave a lasting impression, that'll get you in the door. You can tell your story, and then that person has created an awesome profile for you. And so when they know of something that's open, whether it's for them or somebody they know, they can give you a glowing recommendation, and that will help you leapfrog past everybody else that just sent in a boring old resume along with a very nice typed cover letter describing what they want to do. You become a recommendation, you have an endorsement, and then you can go in there and absolutely kill it in the interview process. So just to recap once again, a lot of different ways to go out there and find a job, but networking, that's going to be the one where you're going to leapfrog ahead of everybody else, no matter what you do. So before we get on out of here today, we want to remind you to be sure to check us out on Facebook and on Twitter. On Facebook, you can search for Young Common Sense. On Twitter, we are at The Sense Blog. And then, of course, you can check us out. All the material that we have is at youngcommonsense.com. So until the next time we get the opportunity to chat, be sure to take this information, change your life, change your outlook, and use this common sense to live a better life each and every day.